Hey guys, what's going on? This is Blaze, aka Ace Blazer, and this is another Total War Shogun 2 battle. This is going to be the second last battle before I go to Europa Barbarum. So here we go. This is level 5. Yeah, still level 5. A lot of level 5 battles, and I think my opponent is also level 5. His name is Timur Lane. Take a look at his army quickly. So, very missile-oriented and a lot of veterans. As opposed to my army, it's going to be less veterans, I believe. Actually, I don't remember, to be honest. So he's going to be using the meat shield tactic, where he puts, I think it's like Naginatas in the front, and then monks, matchlock monks in the second line, and then katana, well, everything else behind it. So you can see he's doing something curious. He's moving his army to the side, but not forward. And this is a very suspicious move. Also notice that he's got no cavalry, so it's something to be wary of when they do these kind of moves. You know that if he's moving to a side or somewhere, he's only moving to the side, he's got no cavalry, it's gotta be an ambush. And it's actually pretty obvious. Yeah, you can see, he totally moved away from the forest. So I'm gonna send out my cavalry units as scouts to just scout out the forest. Now, to keep in here, let's take a look at this army. Got lone swords, they're all vanilla lone swords though, and then katana units, katana samurai. I've got a large bunch of nodachis. I think I've got my front line is totally composed of nodachi samurai, so they're going to be really good for the charge. Can't keep them exposed to missile fire for too long, of course. And then I've got Bo Ashigaru. Before this time, I actually didn't know that Bo Ashigaru were not armor piercing. So yeah, noob Ace Blazer here, showing off his skills. I think it's for Bo Ashigaru though. Yeah, and then I've got matchlocks on the right side. Yeah. Alright, just gonna fast forward a bit, and then here you can see my cavalry. Okay, 2 Yari cavalry and a katana cavalry to back them up. Alright, another noob mistake I make. This is Great Guard, so his unit should win. I think he's got 2 units of Great Guard, and I've got 2 units of Yari, 1 unit of katana. Another noob mistake I made was I thought katana cavalry were anti-cav units, because I was looking at the logic of this. Katana samurai beat Yari samurai, right? So I thought katana cavalry beat Yari cavalry, but no, that is not the case. Katana cavalry are actually a counter against sword infantry. So another noob mistake. Keep in mind this is a very early battle for me. I think it's even earlier than the battles I've shown before. So please don't don't judge me too harshly. Alright, so he uses whistling arrows on my cavalry, but unfortunately for him, it hits his own guys too. So there's a bit of friendly whistling arrows there. My katana cavalry did absolutely nothing. Seeing that he brought his general so close to the battle, I brought my own general close in too. And that might not have been a good idea, but whatever, his Great Guard decided to rout, which is interesting. I brought another Yari Cav unit from the other side. I think I had like 4 Yari Cav, and then 2 Katana Cav, so yeah, it's like 6 cavalry. So I lost all my Katana Cav, I think, but I've still got 2 units of Yari Cav, and then my general managed to survive that scrum, but he's down to about 18 men. I stopped my main army to make sure I could focus on the cavalry part, because you can see that his army is a very missile oriented. I did not want to go into the death trap before I was ready. Yeah, it's kind of like a, I don't know, I don't want to say noob box because he's not making a box, but it's very defensive. And during this time I was really preparing to tackle defensive armies, because as you may know, I've played a lot of RTW. I'm really more melee oriented, and I can't really stand missile exchanges for too long. But I've played the game a lot more now, and yeah, it's really good if you use missile units. Sorry, my speech is a bit retarded right now. Alright, so using the meat shield tactic, well, that's kind of weird. He put his bow monks in front. That's a bit of a curious move. Right, anyways, activate my nodachis to charge in from the front. His guys have no chance. Absolutely no chance. He could try running them away, but it's too late now. So even with his matchlocks firing into my guys with his meat shield, he has no chance. I just totally wipe out his bow monks at the first contact. Then I've got my Yari Cav coming around the back to hit his general. There they go. So my Nodachi just swept the field with those. Something to keep in mind though is the melee rush armies. They're a bit easier to use if you know how to use them, because all you gotta really do is point and click, right? I mean, with skirmish armies in this game, it's a bit more. You have that little field of fire thing, and they can't shoot behind them, unlike Rome Total War. So if they do, it kind of puts them out of position. So in a way, melee armies are actually easier to use than a skirmish army, which is you know, I always thought skirmish armies were a bit easier to use in Rome Total War because you just run away and that's it, and they do all the stuff by themselves. In this game, skirmishing is a bit harder, I think. So it's something to keep in mind. And then melee rush armies, you just gotta pick your time to charge in. Like, make sure you don't take too many casualties from missiles, and then just rush in. Right, so that's the end of this fight and this battle. There's the result screen. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Blaze, aka Ace Blazer, and this is another Total War Shogun 2 video. And this is gonna be the last video before I head back to Europa Barbarorum campaign with my Romani. Right, so this is the army setup I've got. I've got myself Nodachi Samurai as my main battle line and some katanas. Now, what I was trying to do here actually was try to get some Nodachi veterans, which is why I have so many Nodachis in this army. Alright, these are my matchlocks. Sharps rifles with rifle green. Check it out, that's a real color. Wikipedia. 2 bow samurai, 2 bow ashigaru. Naginata samurai in the front as a meat shield. Now, this was a high money battle, that's why I've got Naginatas in the front. You do not want to use those as a meat shield often. But in this case, I did not need to bring Yari Ashigaru because I had so much money. I didn't even have. I had nothing. I didn't know what to do with it. That must be a nice feeling. Right, 1 bow warrior once, and then let's take a look at this army. Now, in my last video, I said melee armies were a lot easier to use because all you have to do is pick a time, make sure you don't take too many casualties from missiles, and then charge in. Point and click, point and click. That's about it, right? And it's actually very potent. You especially saw it with longsword spams. All they really had to do was charge their longswords in, and they won. And yeah, it can be pretty annoying because skirmishing is a bit harder in this game, I find, because you have to have the field of fire, and they can't. If they turn around, they take a long time to reposition. So usually skirmishing, it turns into like a noob box tactic, which is unfortunate. But then again, I don't like skirmishing. I'm not a skirmisher, so I'm glad. I'm glad that skirmishing is not a big part of this. Well, it is a pretty big part of this game, but not part of my game. And it looks like the enemy has no cavalry, so I'm going to take my cavalry around the sides, hopefully to catch his guys around the flanks. Okay. Now, I was saying something, but I forgot what. I'll remember it sometime. This was before the melee stuff. Yeah. You can see what I'm doing though. He's got a lot of melee units. There are lots of vet units as well. At this point, I haven't really developed my veterans, I think. I've got like maybe some guys with 2 or 3 chevrons, but otherwise that's it. This guy, I think he's got a lot more. Oh yeah, look at that. This guy's got 4 chevrons. Okay, so fast forward a bit. Yeah, just take a look at his army. He's got like so many Yari and Katana and Nodachis and only 2 bow warrior monks. But what will make him outrange me is these fire rockets. They're up front here, just marching up. Hate these guys. Whoever uses these people, they're always defensive. Except in this case, he's got his melee rush army. Alright, what I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna form a skirmish line up front. I'm going to try to take a few volleys down and then go back to my melee line. So it'll be a war of attrition in the beginning. Not really. Forget what I said. It was a crappy name. Alright. So he's moving forward in a big blob, and my guys are having a field day. Boosh. And what I would have done if I was a melee rush army is I would have spread my guys out in a line and try to outflank the enemy army. This way, you'll have a lot of your melee units attacking his melee units in the line, but also you'll be able to outflank and attack his missile component so that his missiles can't shoot. And that'll be a big part of this battle. You'll see that my missiles do not get fully taken out. Here he does a pretty good thing though. He has some light cavalry, I think. I cannot see. This is a replay. A video replay. His fire rockets are going at it though, taking out a lot of my army. And he's forming kind of like a box around his fire rockets with the Yari samurai. Here comes the pain train though with his column. Like literally it's a train. Look how narrow it is. And I let my my Naginata in front take the charge, and then I charge my own Odachis in. And I'm trying to find an opening here to take out his fire rockets. Just sacrifice some Yari Cav. This is really crucial. I don't want his fire rockets to take out my guys, because I actually played this guy once before, and he killed my general with a fire rocket. And that was super annoying. As soon as he killed my general, my whole army routed. And he brought the exact same rush army. Oh my god, I was so pissed. So this is the second battle I played with him, and I knew what to expect. I was prepared for this melee rush army. And that's the thing though, if you know what army your enemy's gonna bring, and whether it be rush, or skirmish, or I don't know, lone sword spam, Naginata warrior monk spam, you can probably defeat it. And really that's what it is. It's the luck of the draw. See, people who like lose to stuff like cav spam, well they call it cav spam, cavalry heavy armies, they're just pissed off that they didn't think about it. That's all it really is. You can always beat spam armies. Alright, so I home in on his general there. And wow, that must have hurt. And yeah, taking out most of his melee component because I was shooting all of the missiles I was shooting. And I also managed to take out his avatar. His avatar was too far away from his main melee army, and that was the downfall. His melee was not getting the support they needed from his avatar, and that allowed me to pick off his melee units. Alright, and with some good micromanagement, I also take out his fire rockets. Yep, so here you go. This is how I took out this melee army. He did it once before, but no. I've got you this time, my friend. Just try to preserve your missiles. That's the biggest thing here. Skirmish with your missiles as much as possible. And get whatever advantage you can. You can see my cavalry were running around the back there, just giving them something to think about, giving them something to look. Yeah. Turn this into a micromanagement battle. That's really what I try to do in these battles. Try not to make it about the units, but make it about the management skills. I'm not saying I have skills, just blah. Okay, so yeah, mopping up action. He's got his bow warrior monks. And then yep, there they go. I've still got one unit of Yari Cav after all that weaving around his Yari samurai. I couldn't really show the bits about my weaving and wobbly, tumbly stuff.
My lord, a glorious victory will
so unfortunately, you didn't get to see that. But yep, I managed to get into the middle of his formation soon enough. Alright, so this is the end of the battle. This is the result screen. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and back to Europa Barbarorum.